Hey guys, how you doing? That was pretty crazy stuff this morning at the drop. Let me just see if this is coming through loud and clear. How you doing? That was pretty crazy stuff this morning. Okay, it is coming through loud and clear. Hang on, let me just, I'll just try and share this to, let me try and share this to the Discord and then we can have a chat. Get your questions ready, shoot them over. Put your questions in the live chat there. And I don't know all the answers to be honest, but we'll try our best. What am I doing? Copy link. All right, let's go to Discord. Live on YouTube. Will it let me? Yes. All right. Have we got anyone? Is there anyone with me? Who is with me? Give me a hello. There we go. I'll have to do a hello myself. These unscheduled lives tend to take a little bit to get started. Here we go. Someone's here. Randall Webb. Hello. How you doing? Randall, how'd you go? Did you get any at the drop? Did you get any horses at the drop, mate? Hello. Captain. G'day, Captain. Did you get any horses at the drop? Anyone get some horses? I was lucky enough. I was trying to get a range of horses between... I decided that I would go for the low end of each bracket for whatever reason. I've got a bunch of Z1s already, so I thought, in my opinion, Z2s are about 80-90% of the race potential of Z1s at 50% of the cost. So I decided that I would go for the Z2s of the Nakamotos. I tried to go for the Z4s of the Zabos, but I didn't get any. And then I tried to go for the 7s of the Finnies, but I ended up with a 1-6. And then I couldn't get anything of the Buterins. I don't know how anyone got any Buterins. I ended up with 4 or 5 misses, strikeouts. G'day Zook. Tyler, if we're confirmed on Etherscam, do we get a horse for sure? I believe that is the case, Tyler. I believe that sometimes, and I can't confirm this 100%, but I believe that sometimes there is a double transaction confirmed. And in the past, now this is what I'm not 100% sure of, in the past I believe they made sure that everyone got the horses that were paid for. Whether it is exactly the same horse, it may not be. It might go to the very first confirmation if there was a fraction of a second. But I believe everyone gets the Z number they were going for, at least while we have more of those in stock, which we still do of all horses. So I can't confirm that. Chat with the admins once the horses go through. They're minting up to about Z6 or 7 now. I should start to see, I've got my 4 Z2s. I should see my Z6 drop in shortly. Randall got a Z1 and a 3. Awesome work. Did we see that there was 3 more fortune colours dropped? I mean, the talk around the Z chat was always that Billions and his fortune colour was a 1 of 1. He sold last week for 125,000, which I think is a good price. Well, it's a great price as a 1 of 1. I thought it was a bargain at 1 of 1, but now when we look and we see that he's a 1 of 4, I think old mate Beaver did very, very well. Too many DM on me, send me some shout out. The schlongs, roadie schlongs. All right. Any questions, guys? Shoot them over. I don't know, I just thought I'd jump on and we could have a bit of a chat. Got a Z1 transaction confirmed, a little bit in suspense as to which actual horse. A number of them failed. Yeah, I was the same. Not sure which horses came through. And actually the one I thought I got, I didn't get. But I ended up getting, what did I end up getting? How much do I think well, I think this is a huge, I think the aftermarket, well, I thought 150 Z1s and 150 Z2s was too many at that price bracket. I didn't think we had the demand, but Z knew better than me. So that now we now only have about 250 Z1s and Z2s, 250 of each left. That's not a lot. for the future drops. I mean, if they were to ramp up the drops, we could see all of those Z1s and Z2s go next drop. I don't think that will be the case, but it could quite possibly be the case. And then the aftermarket is the only thing left. So I think, to be honest, I think now the Z1s and Z2s are being dropped too cheaply, if you know what I mean. Like if we sold 150 Z1s in a matter of 1 or 2, 3 minutes, and we would have sold them in 30 seconds, you know, had we been able to access whichever ones were still available, I think they're too cheap. I think the 6 or 7 ETH or 7 or 8 ETH or whatever they were is too cheap. I think Z has to raise the top end of the horses up to the market to maybe 15 or 20 ETH each. Yeah, so I think the aftermarket will be interesting, really interesting. And to be honest, I think the Z10s are probably worth much, much more as well, because if you consider how hard they were to get, and many of us had to spend 3 or 4, I had 5 gas fails and no Z10s. So that's like $150 in gas fails for no horse. So you've got to take that into account too. So I think Z10s have got to be worth more than that on the aftermarket just because of the rarity or the inability to just buy them off the shelf. You know, if you could walk into a store and just buy one, that'd be great, but you just can't. You can't. And even when they are available, they're very difficult to get because it's just a mad rush, isn't it? With the number of new horses entering races, should we anticipate some skewed early odds in the Griff races? Yeah, well, I'm sitting out of the Griffins for probably the next 24 hours or so, because at the moment, obviously, with the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s being released first, the Griffins currently are very stacked. They're stacked with the high-end horses. And my tactic will be to wait till the high-end horses are sort of dwindling out and then put my Z2s in. Because even if they're poor horses, pretty good odds in that first race and maybe get their first win. Okay, but if I put in a Z2 now, it's hot competition. So, okay. How do I see? David says, how do I see? Yeah, I'm not sure this is confirmed yet. How do I see 7 breeding opportunities for males and 2 for the females play out? I heard somewhere a rumour the other day that the minimum breeding numbers per month may have changed. Now, I don't know if that means they've changed upwards or downwards or whether that was just a myth. What role does a Z... Well, a Z5 colt has as much role as any other colt in the breeding pool. If it's a good colt, it will probably be very much sought after. If it's unraced, you might struggle to get covers. And if it's raced and got a low win percentage, you might struggle also. Randall, the real struggle, race these fillies or keep them in mint condition. Yeah, I'm a racer. I race pretty much all my horses because I see the opportunity to race them and then maybe keep the best of the best, keep the top 5% and sell the others, and then maybe buy some more, race them, keep the top 5%. And I've been doing that for 6 or 7 months. So I will be racing all of mine, but we're getting to the point now where it's very hard to get out of the market, as in sell your raced horses and then get back in at the same price. For 6 months, for the last 6 months, it was relatively easy to sell horses and get back in at a lower price because the horses were, there wasn't that huge demand, but that's gone now. Those opportunities are somewhat gone. You can still pick up, there's a few people holding some Z1, Z2 or big bags of lower Z numbers as well, or the Z9s and 10s I mean by lower, which is actually higher. But there's people holding some bags, and when they come back to Z, they see, oh wow, there's a lot of liquidity in these pools. I can sell really quickly and get my money out. So often those people are selling at market or slightly under market price, and you can pick them up on OpenSea if you've got a keen eye. But for myself, yeah, I'll be racing. I'll be racing all mine. There's one horse in my stable I won't race, and she is called Satoshi. She is the rarest Z number and the rarest colour. Well, actually now she is equal rarest with Billions. Billions was the rarest colour. So Satoshi, my horse, which is a super rare Stronghold Ivory, has potentially slightly increased in value, with Billion's colour coming down to the same level as what Satoshi is. So yeah, Satoshi won't be raced just yet. She is the rarest Z number, the rarest breed type, and the rarest colour in that category, with an epically cool name, a horse named Satoshi that is of a Nakamoto breed. So I won't race her for the time being because she is particularly valuable. And I would hate to put her in and get 40-1 odds, which would be a possibility. I think I just answered your question, Anthony. Do I recommend not breeding certain horses, particularly Nakamotos, in the near term? Well, for me, I would only not run that very, very valuable Satoshi horse, only because she is what I believe to be one of the most iconic horses based on the name and the rarity of colour in the game, and of course being a Z1 Nakamoto. I will race all my other Nakamotos because I want to see what they're like, keep the good races, and I sell the others and try and reinvest that way. Okay, so I'll be participating in future drops. So I guess if you're buying horses off me, and I'll give myself away a little bit here, if you're buying horses off me or any other, well, not any other strong racer, if you buy good races off Doofy, I don't sell my really hot races, Doofy does. So you can buy really good races from Doofy at a premium, but I won't sell my races. So you'll know if you're buying a Z1 or a Z2 off me, it's probably not a top 1 or 2%er, okay? But given that I'm only keeping my top, 10%, there's still some really fine horses that I sell there. Okay, keep shooting the questions. Keep shooting the questions, guys and girls. Have we got any girls with us here today? They seem to be in the minority, but come on, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey guys, got a successful transaction. The horse is not in your stable. Please message me. Rod D. Schlongs, are you a Z admin, Roddy? Or are you, just be careful guys, I don't know who's who and I don't recognise that name. So sorry mate if you're a legit trying to help, but I got to give that warning out. I don't know what he or she can do for you as far as these confirmed transactions. If anyone messages you asking for ETH or your private keys, anything like that, be very wary. We are in the wild, wild west. Crypto is the wild, wild west at the moment. NFT gaming, it's very new. There's a lot of people that don't know what's going on, and there's a lot of people trying to take advantage of that, so be very careful. My Z6 is being transferred now. Awesome. Yeah, I might have mine by now too. Let me have a quick squiz. Guys, if you've got any questions, shoot them over. I didn't really have any topic to specifically talk about. David, we'll jump onto that one in a moment. Let me just double check if I've got my horsey yet. Have I? Oh, I'll leave that for now. I don't really want to be. It's okay, mate. I will not help you again. Mate, it sounds like dodgy talk to me, mate. Absolutely. Yeah, just be careful, guys. Anyone promising to help you, unless it's a Z admin and you know it is, and you can confirm it, ask me, ask someone else. Be very careful. David, how much additional value does the name of a horse add or subtract? It depends. There's some really, really cool names out there. And as far as the Genesis is concerned, where we can't name our own horses, like really, really cool names, absolutely could add value. I mean, I think the name Satoshi, it's also a low mint number as well as all of those other rarities, is really, really valuable myself, but someone else might not. But I think for myself that some crypto geek that's done very, very well, that might be really desirable. And I'm a big fan of crypto myself. So, I'm going to want some big dollars to let that go. Otherwise, I'll just keep her myself. But there's some other really cool names. I got Obi-Wan today. OBY1, Star Wars fan. That's pretty cool. I got BOB. I bought that because one of the big players on Z is a guy called Bob. So I thought I'll grab that. Might give me some negotiating power. Bob, message me. What else did I get? I got Wasabi. I thought Wasabi was a very cool name. Well, hot name. Good dad joke. Is it worth holding on to bad Genesis races for the future dares considering the other performance factors? Yeah, look, Randall, it might be. It's not my tactic. I would rather sell on some of the not so great races. I'm not going to call them bad because they might have good traits in the future, but I would rather play in the moment to some degree, keep the ones that I know are really, really good, and maybe buy more with the hope of hitting the lottery again. Screw Brewbeard, SC Brewbeard. How would you rate the drop? The drop was manic. That was crazy. I thought with only 2,500 users on Discord that, 150 Z1s, 150 Z2s were going to sit for an hour. They didn't. They went in 5 minutes. And that is absolutely phenomenal. I think as far as improving for next drop, I think there has to be some sort of queue system, whether that be 1 horse per person and some sort of lineup. Whether, you all say, maybe you get maybe one allocation of a Z1-2, of a Nakamoto, of a Zabo, of a Finney, and of a Buterin. And then depending on how many people want that one allocation to those 4 different breed types, if there's 200 ones and Nakamotos going and there's 500 people, well, there's some sort of lotto raffle system to tell you if you're eligible to buy, something like that. Okay? Or you might just get randomly put in a numbered queue because everyone that puts their hand up for a Nakamoto, given that they might be 15 or 20,000, might not have the funds to buy. So as it comes down through queue member 1 to 2 to 3, you get the option to buy or pass. I'm not sure how it's worked with other NFTs in the past, but it was not a pleasant user experience. And if I was a brand new user to this platform, chances are I'd be very disappointed. But because I've got my horses already, it wasn't a big deal that I had to, pay a whole bunch of failed gas fees for me. But I know there's many of you out there that probably spent $100 or $200 on gas and didn't even get a horse. Chris, did you have time to shop around for Z1s and 2s? Nah, mate. Well, kind of. I was just looking at the entire screen, scanning, going, boom, what looks cool? And I was looking for fillies this time around because I've got a lot of colts already. So I was looking for fillies. And I was just like, boom, filly, get it. Boom, filly, get it. And I got lucky with Bob, B-O-B, and Wasabi because they sort of were there and then disappeared. And then on the back of the Z3-4s, a few of the Z2s dropped back in and I got 2 more then. So I'm not sure if they were failed transactions that didn't go through and then just circled back around and I managed to grab them. So I got really, really lucky on that. Aggressive Azua, Z9 super rare. Congrats, Kevin. That's a real score. That's a real score. A Z9 super rare, Aggressive Azua. Yeah. Is it worth anything? Of course it's worth something. I think commons are probably worth at least 3x, maybe 5x for Z10s, which sounds crazy. We're talking now $500 US, but they just got snapped up so quick. And as I said, you can't just buy one. You can't. You're not even guaranteed at the next drop of getting one. Who knows? Zed might just say, the heck with it. Next drop, we're doing the lot. Just so that people get horses. It's getting to that point. And then it's just off to the moon we go because it'll just be aftermarket. And once all the weak hands are sold out, there are some weak hands that bought horses purely for investment that are now selling, as I said, sometimes as low as close to market rate. And there's a few more that have bought today that will probably sell for 1.5x, 150%. If you see any around 150%, I would, I'm going to be buying them still, because I had certain amount set out for this drop, and I've still got 1/3 of that left, because I wanted to buy some Z8s, 9s, 10s. If anyone's got Z8s, 9s, 10s, wants to sell them to me, message me. I'm not going to pay 5x though. I'll pay 1.5 maybe. Okay. Depends on your goals. If you're happy to play the game, then race and learn. Yeah, I guess the risk with a Z9 Buterin is most of them are not good races. Probably 80% are not very good as far as racing is concerned. They might be okay breeding, but I mean, that's what you get. You're paying 15, 20 grand for a Z1. Most of them are pretty good races, most of them. Similar with the Z2s, but by the time you get all the way down to the Z9s and 10s, you're paying a couple of hundred, 150, 200. And that ratio plays out. There may be only 1 in 100, 2 in 100 are pretty good. You can get lucky. I bought 30 at once. There was a time, you guys are going to pull your hair out, there was a time only 2 or 3 months ago when there was a couple of hundred Z10s just sitting on the marketplace for weeks, maybe months. And I bought I've now sold them, I shouldn't have done. I bought about 30 or 40 or maybe 50 over a couple of week period. And I raced them all, kept most of the good ones. I sold a lot of good ones too. And then, and then I should have kept them now because it's going crazy, crazy, crazy. But I kept most of my 1s and 2s, which was a good thing. Okay, guys, have a quick think if you've got any other questions. Otherwise, we might wrap this up and let you guys get back to whatever you were doing, as well as myself. If you haven't seen the breeding colour chart, let me switch over here. Can I switch to that screen? That's not it. That one. This one here, if you Google Z Run colours, something like that, you'll get this chart and you'll see. Here's the super rares. There's only one colour that's not on here that I know of, and that is the Fortune colour. Fortune is the colour that Billions, the Z1 horse, is. Up until today, he was a 1 of 1. Many of us thought that was always to be the case. He sold during this week for 125,000 US dollars. Oh, it's Rod from Z. Ah. Okay, sorry, Rod. I now know who you are. Okay, I'm calling Rod a scammer. It's Rod Z1. You should have said that at the start, mate. Killing me. Sorry, Rod. Yes, if you are experiencing troubles or difficulties, you can message Rod Z1. That's him here to help. You need to change your username on YouTube, Rod, so I recognise you. But now I should have recognised your schlongs. I know the schlong stable. It didn't ring a bell. Check your PM. I'm just trying to do the right thing at the end of the day here. All right, guys. With that, I'm starting to get a bit embarrassed about the situation, getting a bit flush in the face. Can you see it? Anyway, guys, that's what we do. You're probably all having a good old laugh. I've called Rod, one of the good guys of Z Run, a bit dodge. Thanks. We'll do this again at a later date. I'm going to go and have a little cry off camera. See you guys. Bye for now.